A great day for hoops here in the Hill City as it's the ODAC opener for the Lynchburg Hornets as they welcome the Bridgewater Eagles to town. I'm Joe Brennan, joined alongside my good friend and partner Kevin Nestor. Kevin, should be a good one today. Both teams trying to get off to the right foot beginning conference play tonight.
Absolutely. Both squads coming in at 4-2. Neither one played a conference game, but that's just going to build the hype for this one. Two great teams, evenly matched. It's going to be a great one here tonight in Turner.
Both teams off to a relatively strong start to begin their season, both entering this affair with a record of 4-2. For the Bridgewater Eagles, they picked up a dominant win in their most recent matchup.
Yeah, and in that game, you got two guys in Oates and Cooper scoring 20 apiece. Oates being very efficient, 56% from the field. Cooper shot 61% from the field. But how about off the bench? Woody Machado, 17 points, 9 rebounds, doing it all.
Now, when looking collectively at these teams, let's take a look at the numbers from both of these squads entering tonight. We've said it's going to be a good matchup. You can see why. When you look at it on paper, these two teams really evenly matched. The one discrepancy and a big disparity between these two squads is the turnovers per game. That 15.2, definitely something that Scott and company want to clean up for the Hornets.
Yeah, and when you look at our last game here in Turner when they played the apprentice school, that was what kept the apprentice school around in the first 30 minutes of that game. The turnovers, Lynchburg able to fight back and extend that lead, but it was close for a while because of that.
And while turnovers are important, it's not necessarily the biggest stat that we've got our eye on here tonight. And with that, let's take a look at Kevin's keys for tonight's matchup.
Yeah, and for Bridgewater, they got to get rolling early. They're 4-1 when they score the first points of the game, 4-0 when leading at halftime. Also shooting the three. They got 3 guys shooting over 50% from three-point range when they shoot at least 5 attempts. Oates, Wards, Machado, they can all get it done from outside. But on the flip side of that, the hometown Hornets, they're going to have to win the glass. It's going to give them a chance to control the game. They can go fast in transition, get buckets. We saw that against Newport. Or they can slow it down and get into their offensive set, allow their shooters, allow their big man to get settled. But then limiting the turnovers, we just talked about it. 15 a game, losing the turnover margin in the young season. That's something they have to clean up to win this game tonight.
Well, the stage is set. We will step aside momentarily as we await the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Stick with us. Lynchburg, Bridgewater, upcoming here on LHSN. Hello and welcome back into Turner Gymnasium, a midweek matchup here between the Lynchburg Hornets and the Bridgewater Eagles to get conference play started. With that, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. For the Bridgewater Eagles in the backcourt, it's Khalil Ward alongside Jordan Cooper. In the frontcourt, Aaron Oates, Taylor Finkham, and Will Dunlap. For Lynchburg, the backcourt tandem of Jake Hart and Pearson Young, with Mason Makovic, Jason Eastham, and Jamarcus Brown getting the nod in the frontcourt. I mean, for Lynchburg, there's been one guy that's been extremely hot coming into this matchup. It's the reigning ODAC Defensive Player of the Week, Pearson Young.
Yeah, in that last game against the Apprentice School, 15 points, but what stood out was the 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 1 steal. That kind of elevated him to that level that we saw got nominated for ODAC Defensive Player of the Week. He's been doing it all over the last week or so.
Pearson Young this season has been scorching hot. 14.5 points per game. He's been extremely efficient thus far this season. Definitely someone that the Eagles are going to need to keep an eye out for. Now, on the flip side of things, for the Eagles, they have an explosive 1-2 punch.
Yeah, Oates and Cooper, these guys, you know, I mentioned it at the top of the broadcast, both of them shooting over 55% in that game against Mary Baldwin they come off of. But Oates averaging 18.5 points per game, 8 rebounds. Cooper coming in with 16.5 and 5 rebounds. These guys getting it done offensively as well as getting down to the paint and grabbing boards to elevate their team.
And how about Lynchburg? A change in his starting lineup here tonight. Jonathan Faust will now come off of the bench. In his place, it's the freshman who's been a highlight reel player all season long, Jamarcus Brown.
Jamarcus Brown in the last game alone came off the bench and had 13 points and 9 rebounds. But what stands out off the box sheet, we've seen it a couple times, the highlight plays this guy adds. He can get a crowd energized and he can do it in a hurry.
Well, we should see what they've got in store for us tonight. And we talked a little bit about the battle on the glass. That's really something that you know Lynchburg is going to be stressing so much coming into this. Bridgewater has not won a game this season where they have had under 30 rebounds a game and under 10 offensive rebounds a game. They've won every game where they have done that.
And I think you got to look at in that stat is going to be Mason Makovic. 15 rebounds last time out. Going to go along with 12 points and a 66% clip from behind the arc. That's a guy we need to keep our eyes on tonight, especially on the glass.
Jump is up, controlled by the Eagles. It's Dunlap that comes down with it. Now they give it to the reigning ODAC All-13 selection from a year ago in Cooper. Swing around the horn, dribble handoff right back to Cooper. Outside Oates, working on Brown. He'll drive baseline. Nothing there. Phenomenal defense by the freshman Brown. They need to reset with just 5 on the shot clock. Got to get something up. Long 3 ball from Oates, rolls out. Brown comes down with a board. Great defensive possession to set the tone early from Lynchburg. Now it's Hart. Set play for Easton. He'll drive inside, float one up. Can't get the roll, but he heads to the stripe for 2 shots. And we talk about getting your offense going. Easton had one heck of a start to last game. Hit 3 threes in the opening 2 minutes. He finished that contest with 6 3-pointers made. You know he's going to be on the Bridgewater scouting report.
Oh, yeah, and just the way that he can do it all. You talked about the threes that he made, but like right there on display, slashing to the basket, going through the contact, almost finished through the contact, but getting to the line for 2 easy ones to start.
Last time in Turner it was a barrage of threes. Of course, it was led by Easton, but really the entire front court got involved. 13 made threes in that last game for Lynchburg, 11 of which came from the front court. Here's a corner 3. Oates will try it. No good off the back iron. Young corrals the board. Makovic looking to go underneath for Brown. Great denial. Right back out. Makovic rises from 3, draws back iron. Offensive rebound for Easton, but it's poked away and a foul called on Khalil Ward.
And on both ends of the floor, Lynchburg coming out with just a little bit more intensity to start. Great defensive possessions, and then coming down on the offensive end, fighting for offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities to see what they can do with it.
Young will try from deep. Young connects from downtown. Trailing by 4, Bridgewater looking for a response. Drive inside, finished with the right hand by Dunlap. Very important for Bridgewater to try and get your other pieces involved. You know what Cooper and Oates are going to give you every time out. as Young has one rattle out. Cooper weaving his way inside, an illegal screen called on Finkham.
And here early you see 3 of the first 4 possessions running through Oates. That's how big of a player he's going to be in tonight's contest.
Finkham will now head to the sideline. Mason Ramsey, the junior center, will take his spot. And also, I just got to say, Mason Ramsey listed as 6'6". Finkham listed at 6'9".
A lot of times we talk about Lynchburg with the size advantage, but Bridgewater coming in tonight, they're going to have to play them boys.
Young, extra pass out for Easton, a 4-point play opportunity. Picking up right where he left off. We're talking about this size from Bridgewater. You know, you have a guy listed at 6'6" and 6'9", and just seeing him out there compared to the other guys on the floor, you start to feel like there might be a little bit of inflation in those height listings.
Oh yeah, and the problem with size is you look at our stat sheet, Easton listed as a 6'4" forward, but he's out here knocking down threes like he's Steph Curry.
Here's a long bomb from Ward from way downtown. Cuts it to a 3-point game. Big response by the Eagles. Brown trying to go right back to Easton. Step back jumper short. Young, rebound, Hart a 3. Bang!
That's something you won't see very often. Jake Hart, a defensive mastermind, not known for his shooting, but gets the open look and knocks that one down.
Good ball movement by Bridgewater once again. They can swing the rock. The numbers might not reflect that. A team that averages an ODAC low 9 a game, as there's a takeaway from Hart. Hart, a pesky defender. Makovic inside, swing to the corner, pump fake, triple, back iron. Climbing the ladder is Cooper, corrals the rebound. Now Oates into the lane, finishes through contact, can't get the roll. He'll head to the charity stripe. Foul called on Brown, that's his first, team's second. And how about the foul trouble as well from Bridgewater here early? They already have 14 fouls.
Yeah, you already see one of the starters coming out of the game. It's that type of night, but we're going to see a lot of physicality in the paint. We talked about the rebounding battle, but how about the finishing battle that we're going to see?
Oates converts on the free throw. Good crowd here tonight. May not look like it on your screen with the visiting Bridgewater Eagle fans on the opposite side of us, but near side, great attendance. Student sections loaded up as Makovic banks it home for 2. Also a big jersey night tonight. Coach Scott implementing a whole lot of themes this year, trying to bolster the excitement around the program, and everybody's getting involved.
And with the way the squad's playing, why not? The hustle, you see it on display right there, gives everybody something to cheer for.
Hart with his second steal tonight. Now he's wide open in the corner. They don't see him. Brown, spin cycle inside. You bet. Jamarcus Brown, just the amount of athleticism he adds to this team every time he's on the floor. I mean, it's truly a spectacle to watch. And with that, we will step away. The first timeout of tonight and our media timeout taken by the Bridgewater Eagles. 15-7 our score here on LHSN.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium as the Bridgewater Eagles trail the Hornets 15-7. Eagles coming in this year with a new head coach entering his first season. It is Mike Munchko, 16th coach in program history, as Cooper soars for the slam. Former Randolph-Macon assistant comes over to Bridgewater, takes the opportunity. A younger guy, but he's already shown the kind of stuff he can implement for the Eagles.
Yeah, and whenever we talked to his Randolph-Macon colleagues before his tenure here at Bridgewater, they gave him a big nod in their recruiting class that they had, which led them to deep runs in the NCAA tournament. So Bridgewater getting a guy here that knows what he's doing.
18-9 after the three-point make from Pearson Young. Eagles looking to go on the low block. A nice drop step. You see the physicality from Richardson, bulldozing his way inside. Poked away, clear the runway. An easy lay-in for Jordan Cooper. He's off to a hot start.
A couple of early turnovers leading to those buckets there for Bridgewater. It's something that we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Lynchburg will have to limit if they wanted to continue to extend their lead.
Easton from downtown. No good. Tip in. Can't fall. Now Oates will slow it up. Bridgewater has made 5 of their last 6 field goal attempts. Oates rejected. They'll call it a travel. It looked like Lynchburg had got a piece of that. Nonetheless, they'll take the turnover. The 3rd turnover tonight from Bridgewater. And Hillary Scott will give his boys a breather. Well, Kevin, just 6.5 minutes in, Lynchburg with a 5-point advantage. And what's been the biggest benefactor for the Hornets thus far?
Picking up where they left off with the 3 ball. I mean, you're seeing it, guys knocking it down from all over the place. You saw an extended range 3 there early on. Easton a little heat check coming in from last game, but that's something that they're going to continue to build on. The shooting in Turner Gym for this squad has been amazing this year.
Lynchburg 4 of 9 from deep so far tonight. That's good for 44%. They entered this game shooting 36% on the year through their first 6 games. And interestingly enough, that's exactly the percentage that Bridgewater allows their opposition to shoot. We knew coming into it that they would really need to shoot the 3 well just in order to keep up with the volume scoring that Lynchburg can give you on any given night.
Yeah, and it's something that we kind of expect them to because, you know, as I mentioned, you look at their stats, they've got 3 guys that are shooting over a 50% clip from 3-point range. So this Bridgewater team, it doesn't take much for them to get hot. And when they do, this is going to continue to be a ball game.
And it's been a relatively quiet night thus far for Oates. Somebody that is top 10 in the ODAC in scoring, averages 18.5 points per game. Right now leading the way is Cooper. He's also in that top 10 at 16.5 points a game. As Brown able to drive inside, right-hand flip shot, no good. Oates the other way. Brown daring him to go right. He lost the handle, last touched by a gray jersey.
And I've been so impressed every game that we've caught here in Turner Gym. Lynchburg comes out with such great energy on the defensive end. Quick hands, poking balls free. You see it again there. Didn't get the turnover, but allow you to set up a better defensive set.
I'll slow it down for Ward. Oates, baseline, spins back. Jumper no good, rejected by Brown. 2 on the shot clock. They just heave one up. It'll roll out of play. The 2nd time tonight we've seen Bridgewater deepen their own shot clock. Just some great defense from the Hornets.
And you're seeing these guys everywhere. 2 bodies flying to the ball, double teams, getting back, picking their man up. It just seems like everywhere this ball is going on the Bridgewater side of the court, there's somebody there, if not 2 guys there.
A great start defensively for the freshman Brown, who made his first career start here tonight. Now Bridgewater comes out in a 2-3 zone. Some pressure up top for Gray. Gray, elbow jump shot. No good. Jamarcus came flying in, but Oates secures the board. Three-point attempt, no good. Poked around Bridgewater ball. Oh, pardon me. They will call that Lynchburg ball.
Another possession where you see a really good shot contest. Pearson Young out there at that time getting a hand in the shooter's face. But then two guys boxing out that maroon Bridgewater jersey down on the block, kind of allowing for that ball to stay in Lynchburg's possession.
Seems like we've got an issue with the game clock now. I talked a little about jersey night. You got a favorite jersey in the house that you've seen?
So far, I got to give a shout out to my man Michael Ham, the throwback Dennis Rodman jersey coming in here at the light baby blue, flashing it back to the 90s. That thing is stylish.
Mike Gray, pull-up jumper, got it. Mike Gray gets on the board for the first time tonight. It's his 7-point advantage for Lynchburg. Good pass to the interior. Now on the low block, up and under, tangled up with Makovic. Richardson draws the foul. And Richardson, I mean, 6'4", 270. He's listed as a guard.
And that's a guy that when you look at, you see his slashing ability. He's a big man, but he was moving quick, especially in that entry pass to get from the outside wing to the basket to draw that contact in a hurry.
They'll try and counter that size now with Bugs checking in on the low block as a foul is called on the inbound on Mike Gray. Jonathan Faust also enters the game for the first time today. And it is an interesting change to see Faust now come off the bench, because he was a guy that was in the starting lineup but was oftentimes pulled in the first 3 minutes from Scott. I mean, we didn't see him make it to the first media timeout very frequently.
Some of that was foul trouble, but also some of that was, you talked about it last game, his efficiency kind of dropped off from where he was last year. But that's big credit to his teammates, because they've kind of picked up where he's left off.
Without a doubt, Bugs doing a great job on the low block, forces the miss, offensive rebound, 3 tries at it, and the third time's the charm for Malik Richardson. Cuts into a 5-point game. Bugs driving in, draws contact. They'll call it a block on Richardson. That's one where it could have been a charge, one of those bang-bang plays. His heels might have been in that restricted area.
I'll tell you what, if these two big boys are going to go at it every time up and down the court, we're going to have a fun night on our hand.
I hope so.
I already see 2 trips, and these boys are battling.
Foul was on the floor. Inbound underneath their own basket. Gray drives baseline. Gray goes up and in. Back-to-back possessions with points for Mike Gray. And he's tagged with his second foul. And something interesting, you know, we were doing one of those trends where you go through and you find older pictures of a player and you ask him for the autograph to sign the picture. So we went through a lot of mom's Facebook, and we went through Mike Gray's mother's Facebook. And we discovered his sister played Division I basketball at the University of Miami. And she was a all-ACC defensive player, averaged 2 steals a contest, 13 points per game in her senior season.
It runs in the family, but with Mike Gray, he will not let you hear about it, because he doesn't want that "my sister's better than me" syndrome. He's going to come out here and he's going to ball and do his thing for the Hornets.
Well, they certainly have a similar play style as Lynchburg adds another block to their total this evening. Now Faust matchup with Richardson. What a stop from Faust. Showing off the strength. Now he's got a mismatch underneath. They'll go right to him. Faust tangled up, draws the whistle. I will say personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Miami women's basketball. I'm wearing my Indiana jersey here tonight for Jersey night, and that's a team that knocked my Hoosiers out of the round of 32 a couple years ago.
You're not a fan of the Cavender twins?
I am not.
Can't really
I'm a fan of Indiana women's basketball.
I can't blame you there.
Hey, they got dogs on that team, man.
The Hoosiers, they've got a bunch of dogs these days. How about that football squad? Give them a little shout out.
Let's keep it on the hardwood. Halfway through the first half, Lynchburg still leads by 7. We've been talking about the rebounds all night long, and we'll continue to talk about it as this game progresses. Right now, Bridgewater holds the advantage 7-4. Out rebounding Lynchburg as well on the offensive glass, 3-2. Nonetheless, I mean, the Hornets have been able to maintain a lead here, large part due to the three-point percentage, still shooting 40% from deep.
Yeah, and for Bridgewater, we talked about the production that we expected to see from Aaron Oates and Jordan Cooper. But the last 3 or 4 possessions have gone to the guy that you mentioned earlier, Malik Richardson.
Same inbound look, and it's a 5-second violation. Bridgewater knew what was coming. I mean, the exact same set. Very rarely will you see a team go to the same play twice, but granted, it worked the last time they went to it. 10 minutes to go here in the first half. And it seems like the defensive game plan tonight for Lynchburg is they're trying to force baseline. What a rejection from Faust. Now Callaway in transition. Euro step, left hand, no good. That's something to keep an eye out for, because they do not want them to attack the middle and drive and kick.
And for Faust, how about it? You mentioned it earlier. Didn't start tonight, but he did not lose his energy. Throughout pregame, throughout the warm-ups, the introductions, he was the same guy that you always see, and he comes in and is making big impact here early.
Mouse in the house. Richardson liked the mismatch on the undersized Hart. Hart, one of the premier defenders in the entire ODAC conference, but certainly not on the low block.
Yeah, especially when you've got you mentioned it, a guard listed at 270. Anybody that matches up against him is going to be Mouse in the house tonight. You're seeing it early. For me, what's impressive is 270, but how quick he's getting to the basket.
Hart this season does have 9 steals. He's already added 2 to that total tonight. I mean, he is an absolute pest on the defensive end. He's had 3 games this year with 2+ steals, now make it 4 with tonight. Richardson splits the pair, cuts into a 6-point game. Gray likes the mismatch. Gray will fire from deep. He's a flamethrower. 7 points here in the opening 11 minutes.
As soon as the ball touched his hands, he knew he was going up with that one, and why not?
No hesitation. Can't get the roll. Hart with the board. Hart wants to go. Dump off Faust. He's triple teamed. Outside Callaway. 1 dribble. Now out for Hart. He'll try his luck from deep. Can't connect on the trifecta. Richardson. Let it fly, big fella. Yes, sir.
How about the production from this guy? Like, you mentioned Oates and Cooper, the 2 highest scoring guards on this Bridgewater team, but Richardson getting the production. The offense is running through him right now.
6-point game. Hart physically driving inside. They'll say no shot. Stephen Burgess took a big shot. Let's take another look at another form of a big shot on the other end.
Seems like a lot of our talking points tonight, Joe, are coming from the bench. Richardson coming off the bench for Bridgewater on Lynchburg's side. Faust coming in defensively, being a menace. And then Mike Gray on the offensive end. A lot of production so far.
Richardson, that was his 3rd made 3 this season. He's now 3 for 7 on the year. As Hart connects on the front end. Gray leads the way for Lynchburg with 7 points, 3 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from downtown. It's Richardson leading the charge offensively for the Eagles with 8 points. Oates with just 2 points, 0 for 4 from the floor, and that was something that Lynchburg did extremely well in their last game against Newport News. We highlighted their 2 leading scorers who both shot 50% from the floor, averaged 15 points a game, and they were quiet all night long.
And that's just credit to the coaching staff. Lynchburg, they know the scouting reports, they know who they need to look at, what they're going to be in, and they've done a great job of shutting it out. Like you mentioned, not only this game, but really all season long.
And obviously you can have a team with very strong defensive players. I think really it's been Brown, Hart, and Faust tonight that have been those defensive anchors for Lynchburg, as there's a big-time rejection from Aaron Oates. But a lot of fans of basketball and coaches and players will tell you the same thing. Defense is a team stat, where it's not always one-on-one guarding. It's a lot of weak side help and rotations and communication, as Faust gets a bunny on the left side. Doesn't get much easier than that. A different set piece underneath the hoop. Seems like Bridgewater thought they were going to go there a third time. Backdoor slip by Faust. 8-point lead for the Hornets. They go up top for Ward. Driving inside, passes it to the fans.
And I really like your take on defense. You mentioned it, the ability to match up one-on-one with the best player, or switch over a screen, stay with your man, the zones they come out in. Lynchburg does it all, and they do it all very, very well.
29-21, 7:07 left to be played here in the first half. We'll step aside momentarily. Stick with us here on LHSN.
A single thread is unique. Like each of us, full of purpose and potential. A strand designed to connect, strengthen, and unite. But we face different challenges and have different opportunities. By acknowledging that others may struggle in ways we do not, we can celebrate our differences, embrace each other, and fortify the ties among us. A single thread can fray, yet when it's woven with another.
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium, a 29-21 lead for the Lynchburg Hornets. Coming into this game, we really had an eye on Aaron Oates. He was our player to watch for the Bridgewater Eagles, but he has been kept extremely quiet. A guy that shoots just under 20 points a game at an extremely efficient rate from deep. 0 for 4 from the floor, 0 for 3 from downtown. Kevin, what has Lynchburg done so well to keep him quiet?
It's the guys they've got on him. The freshman, Jamarcus Brown, coming in, starting, and just locking him down. And then whenever he went out of the game, Faust came back in his place. And it just seems like no matter where he goes, those guys are following him and not letting him touch the ball at all.
Now we get to see both Faust and Brown on the floor at the same time. They'll match up Faust on Oates with both of them in the game. And of course, Hart, who has been defensively stellar during his entire tenure at Lynchburg, doing more of the same tonight. On the outside, matched up with Cooper. Near side triple. Machado puts it through.
And Machado's a guy that if these top 2 guys don't get going, he's one that can really pick up the slack.
Jamarcus driving inside, draws the blocking foul. Bridgewater wanted a charge, and I think they had a good case for it. Let's take another look. Yeah, I mean, it's another one of those bang-bang plays. But if you're Bridgewater, that's the second or third time you haven't had it go your way tonight.
You see up there at the top of the key, one of the Bridgewater players asking, well, what'd you see there? He's saying, I don't know. You got to ask the one that made the call. Charge down there on the block. Lynchburg will take that all day.
Brown gets the first one to go. His first pair of free throws tonight. And this is the back end of it. Brown, a 55% shooter from the free throw line. That has certainly been one area where Scott and company have wanted to clean some things up. It's really free throws and turnovers. It's about as fundamental basketball as you can get. Acrobatic lay-in from Cooper doesn't go, but now he earns a trip to the line. Foul called on Hart. That's his first personal foul, the 6th team foul. Bridgewater will be in the bonus, 1-1 moving forward after the next foul. 8 fouls tonight as well for Bridgewater. Lynchburg inching closer to that double bonus. First free throw up and in. Cooper is 61% shooter from the line. Second free throw no good, a 5-point game. Brown stops and pops. Rebound grab by Oates. Throwing it up. A good look, but too high on the pass. Now Easton looking for some help. Young drives on Machado, step back and a turnover. An errant pass, got in the air and didn't know what he wanted to do with it. Lynchburg sideline immediately telling Faust, put a hand on him, put a hand on him. He might be 0 for 3 from deep right now, but don't expect that to last for much longer. Here's a triple from the near side wing. R.K. Law has it roll out. Lynchburg trying to feed Faust underneath. Finds a cutting Brown. Brown through contact.
No whistle that time, but it didn't matter. Brown knew what he wanted to do, and he got up, finished through the contact for a tough bucket.
Brown with 5 points tonight. Forcing Machado baseline, can't get the roll. And a foul on Machado. That now the 9th team foul. 1 away from the double bonus. One and one here for Young. Young, although he is a stellar shooter, as you see, head coach Hiller has gotten his 16th season undefeated here at home this year. Well, you know, he's put a lot of faith in Young. He's been extremely efficient this year, 38% from beyond the arc, 48% from the floor, but what really sticks out, 44% from the free throw line.
You mentioned it, dude. Everybody on this team, something that Coach Scotts wanted to talk about was getting that free throw number up for everyone.
Now going 2 for 2 at the line, extends it to a 9-point lead as Young has the interception, wraps it around his back to keep it away from Cooper. Now matched up with Oates. They want to go underneath to Brown, matched up with Machado.
And I like this, slowing it down, letting their guys get in, calling a play. You had a mismatch down low, but it'll be a foul on Faust this time.
And Faust doesn't agree with it. It's an offensive foul, so no free throws. But that was really just an undersized player in Burgess matched up with Faust, and he had the arm bar, but with such a shorter player like that, listed at 5'10", that arm was around the neck area, which is a lot more likely to draw a whistle. Two-man game with their go-to players. Faust, good closeout on Oates, nothing there. On him like bark on a tree. Now underneath, what a move. Jordan Cooper, silky smooth on the inside.
3 guys picked him up down in the low block, but it didn't matter. Going up through contact, finishing at the rim.
Faust dribble handoff, Easton, he'll try it. No good. Rebound Cooper. Cooper working on Young. Finally got away from Hart and he just wanted to go. Same result, another steal from Young. His second tonight. 2 steals from each member of the starting backcourt tonight for Lynchburg. Dribble handoff Young, he's got room. Flips it up, no good. Couldn't get the friendly roll. Machado, coast to coast, rejected. Jamarcus Brown. Easton from another zip code. Ten-point advantage, the largest of the night for Lynchburg. Now it's Law on Easton. Law backing him down, dunks it off. Oates, high post. Deep three from Law. Laying down the Law.
We're starting to see some of the range from guys on both squads. Back-to-back possessions, guys hitting it from way outside.
Easton couldn't corral the pass. And another Lynchburg turnover. Oates now. Oh no, looked like he was going to take a seat. They're not going to take him out quite yet. I mean, Oates alongside Cooper, those two play about 38 to 39 minutes a game.
And for good reason. When you see their production, we always talk about scoring when it comes to these players to watch. But both of these guys getting it done, rebounding, playing defense, really contributing all around to the squad and their success so far in the young season.
Neither of them have had a game under 16 points this season as Oates now goes up. Is that an offensive foul? They're calling that on Brown?
They're going to call it on Brown, but it was a headshot.
Let's take another look at that one. Well, free throws now for Oates. And Scott will want to regroup with under 2 minutes to go. It's a 7-point lead for the Lynchburg Hornets over the Bridgewater Eagles.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body.
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium. Joe Brennan, Kevin Nestor. As we've got a pair of free throws upcoming here for Aaron Oates. While we stepped aside, the officials went back to the monitor, gave it another look. The call was confirmed. Personal foul awarded to Jamarcus Brown, his second personal here in the first half. First free throw, no good. This just continues the struggle tonight from Oates. Now 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 2 of 3 from the line. And once again, this is a guy that hasn't scored under 16 points in a game all year.
I think that's, we mentioned it earlier, that's a lot of credit to Coach Scott and the defensive game plan they came up with for him. We saw Brown on him, Faust on him.
Henderson checks into the game for the first time tonight and turns it over. Far side wing three for Vetter. You bet. Now just a 3-point game. Bridgewater has made 3 of their last 4 3-point attempts. Young. No good. Henderson offensive rebound. Henderson right back up and right back in.
Tough finish underneath. What a reward for grabbing the offensive rebound that time.
Hard outside on Cooper. Henderson now matched up with Oates with no Faust or Brown in the game. Henderson certainly gives you a whole lot of size. Good contest. Good defense, but better offense.
You knew it was a matter of time before Oates got that first bucket up on the box score.
Young reverses the floor for Easton. Now in the corner, Henderson drops it off. Hart off the glass and in.
Got to find that time from Henderson to drive baseline. Thought he was going to take it the whole time. Dish off to Hart for the easy two.
Back to a 5-point game. Shot clock is turned off. Cooper looking to run the high screen with Oates. Just dribbling it out for the last shot. Takes another screen from Richardson. Inside drive. Great defense from Makovic. Lynchburg has got to go. Hart from half court. No good. That one would have been a fun way to put a close to the first half. Nonetheless, a 5-point advantage for Lynchburg through 20 minutes, 41-36. Kevin?
How about the scoring on both ends? We saw Bridgewater really made an effort to drive to the paint, try to get those easy finishes at the rim. It wasn't working with the defensive effort the Hornets were putting up. They started knocking out some outside shots, and this became a ball game again. But the Hornets not cooling down from outside. That's been the biggest threat for them, because now you're starting to see the pump fakes from the outside, then those lanes becoming even more wide open for the take.
We will step aside for about 10 minutes and come back with reflections from the first half along with the numbers before we have the second half of the first conference game here for the Lynchburg Hornets and the Bridgewater Eagles.
Look what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
Diving in college taught me to strive and be the best athlete I can be, but also the best student I can be. My coaches always made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's gonna become a professional athlete. So they make sure that we will do great in academics. I knew that would only open the door to my future, and I'm really excited to start my dream program for physical therapy.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
I learned a lot of valuable lessons playing college football. I never thought about the health benefits of exercise until I actually started to talk to coaches in college. It's not only just for performance, it's for life. My coaches instilled the importance of well-being, not only building up strength, mental health, getting enough sleep, eating properly is all what it is to be healthy. I decided that I want to go on a personal trainer and share my knowledge that I obtained in college about physical and mental well-being.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Welcome to the Campus Recreational Department at the University of Lynchburg. We believe in a student-centered approach to recreation, making sure that all students have fun and engaging activities that promotes wellness, personal growth, and community building.
Our team works to provide a variety of recreation opportunities for all our undergrad and graduate students.
Let's take a look at the different areas of Campus Rec. Campus Recreation covers all outdoor recreation. Our team offers dozens of trips per semester, maintains recreation facilities on campus, and offers outdoor certificates and leadership training.
Intramurals is open to all students who wants to play on a team. We have men's, women's, and co-ed leagues for each sport we offer.
Those looking for next level competition can join club sports. These are student-led organizations with the support of Campus Recreation. You can join one of our established club sports, or you can start your own with our support.
Campus Recreation offers an excellent amount of opportunities to stay active, make new friends, and develop new skills. We hope to see you soon.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Get your career in the game by enrolling in the University of Lynchburg MBA program with an emphasis in sport management. This program opens the doors to new possibilities for a variety of careers, from being an athletic director or working in athletic administration to working for professional organizations, your favorite team, to running a local Parks and Rec department. And employers are increasingly requesting and preferring individuals who have postgraduate education, specifically looking for an MBA. And so the University of Lynchburg Sport Management concentration in the MBA program sets you up for success, and it sets you apart from the many other people looking for jobs in the industry. Learn from winners. Here you will learn from professors and mentors who have spent their careers doing exactly what you want to do. Increase your marketability in an $83 billion industry. If you have a 3.0 GPA, the GMAT is waived. There's no application fee, admissions occurs on a rolling basis, and our online program is ideal for working adults. When you enroll in this program, you enroll in the opportunity to learn from the best of the best. Your professors have a wealth of experience working in the sport industry that they share with you in the classroom setting. Get in the game by getting your MBA with a sport management concentration at the University of Lynchburg. Just now, Hollywood, here I come. Yeah.
it either. The real Lindsay Piper's here.
Autographs there later. Let's.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
A single thread is unique. Like each of us, full of purpose and potential. A strand designed to connect, strengthen, and unite. But we face different challenges and have different opportunities. By acknowledging that others may struggle in ways we do not, we can celebrate our differences, embrace each other.
And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium. It's Jersey night here for the ODAC opener between the Lynchburg Hornets and the Bridgewater Eagles. Joe Brennan joined alongside Kevin Nestor, a 41-36 advantage for the Lynchburg Hornets here as we approach the second half of action. Kevin, let's take a look at the numbers from the first 20 minutes.
And you look at the points, got a close game, but what stands out is the field goal percentage. Lynchburg knocking down half the shots they take. Bridgewater right there with them at 46%. Both squads doing a really good job with the rebounding battle. That's something that we talked about. Whichever team was going to win this game was probably going to have to win that battle.
Also important to recognize, it's not on your screen, but Lynchburg 6 of 16, that's 38% from the three-point line. Bridgewater started to pick it up from deep as well, now 5 of 12 for 42%. But that rebound, something that we've had circle all day long. Right now, those two teams deadlocked at 15 apiece. And the number that the Hornets wanted to hold the Eagles underneath was 30. Right now, they're flirting with that line.
Halfway there into the first half. What really stands out is when you look at the score, it got going there late in the first half. Both squads hitting 4 of their last 5 shots. Bridgewater knocking down 4 of their last 5 three-pointers to really bolster that percentage number. Something to keep an eye on if they can get that rolling into the second half.
Well, Bridgewater's Aaron Oakes has been kept relatively quiet, just 5 points. He hasn't had a game under 16 all season, but 1 of 5 from the floor. And if you're Bridgewater, you got to feel pretty good right now. You're down 5, and a guy that is your leading scorer that averages about 20 points a game you know it's only a matter of time until he gets going. Meanwhile, on the other side of the floor for Lynchburg, their two leading scorers right now, Pearson Young and Easton, both tied at 8 apiece. But we know that Pearson Young is the guy that can get going and do so in a hurry. Coming into this game, 14.5 points per game, an extremely efficient scorer from all parts of the court. And also, he's done a great job on the glass tonight. 5 boards, along with 2 steals and 3 dimes to add that stat sheet.
It seems like everybody who stepped on the floor for Lynchburg has been efficient, especially on the defensive end. When you got guys coming out, you talked about how Bridgewater, you know, they can be happy it's a 5-point ball game. Their leading scorer hasn't gotten into the game much. Lynchburg, they got to be happy about the same thing. They've really locked that guy down. If they can continue that in the second half, gives them a very, very good shot to win this ball game.
Both of these teams very similar. You saw even in rebounds, even in turnovers. Lynchburg just with 2 more points in the paint.
That's what ODAC basketball is all about, baby.
Yes, sir. This is one that we had a feeling was going to be good with 2 teams that have a similar play style and similar construction of their rosters. In the preseason poll, Lynchburg landed a 10th. Obviously, we know the ODAC is one of the premier destinations for Division III basketball. Bridgewater was at 9th, just 1 spot above the Lynchburg Hornets. We'll run a set piece here. Trying to get Young involved. It's a 2-3 zone coming out of the break. Lynchburg having some trouble with it. 10 on the shot clock. Easton trying to go through the middle for Brown. He'll rise from the stripe and connects for 2.
That guy's been a really big spark coming into the starting lineup tonight. You saw it early in the first half on the defensive end. Now coming out in the second half, getting a quick bucket on offense.
Cooper will go for Richardson underneath Oaks. Drop step move on Brown, stands tall, and a traveling violation. What a defensive stand from the freshman. Brown has had himself a night on the defensive end.
It's something we talked about in previous games, the way he comes out with the energy and athleticism and just meets guys at the paint, does not let them through.
Young, pump fake, picks up his dribble. Brown rises from the stripe once again. Catch.
Why not? Offense, defense, this guy's everywhere, and he's doing it all for the Hornets to start the second half.
Back-to-back buckets from Jamarcus Brown to get things going here in the second half, now with 9 points tonight on 4 of 6 shooting. Richardson trying to find some help. Turnstile underneath. What a dish. A beautiful dime to find the backdoor cutter. Now back to his 7-point game. Brown left open in the middle of the floor, draws contact from Richardson and earns a pair of free throws.
And if Richardson can control his foul number here in the second half, he's been a guy that we saw come in the first half, didn't start, but he came in quick and played great for the Eagles.
We got another look at that last possession on the other end of the floor. One of the few times you might see Jake Hart get lost. Jamarcus Brown converts on the front end. I mentioned he's a 54% shooter from the free throw line, now 2 of 3 tonight. Brown connects on them both. 47-38. Lynchburg has led by as many as 11 tonight. Bridgewater yet to hold on to the lead. Cooper driving in with the right hand, kicks out Oaks, wide open 3, money.
We talked about the defensive efforts on Oaks in the first half. That time, a breakdown, they left him open. That could be what he needs to get going for the squad.
Not the guy you want to leave open. Brown underneath, Makovic, poetry in motion. Talk about ball movement. Oaks hesitates, now outside Richardson. Hezzy inside, set the other way. Now here comes Hart, he's got a man on his hip. Able to shield him finger roll off the glass.
Right-handed finish for a lefty guy. Great job fighting through the contact, finishing with the opposite hand at the rim.
That really was an impressive finish by the sophomore guard. Three minutes in, Lynchburg once again has extended this lead out to double figures. And this time, they haven't really needed the three.
It's been all Jamarcus Brown. Blocks on the defensive end, steals on the defensive end, forcing turnovers on the defensive end, and coming down, knocking down a couple of mid-range shots, finding great cutters. His vision's there. Everything's there for him right now to start the second half. That's why Coach Scott started this young man tonight.
And on the other end, Pearson Young got his first block tonight. Add that to what has been a really spectacular night just by the numbers. 8 points, 5 boards, 4 dimes, 2 steals, and a block. We said at the top of the broadcast, I mean, this guy is the reigning ODAC Defensive Player of the Week, and rightfully so. He averaged 7.5 rebounds last week, 2 blocks a game, 1.5 steals.
And we come into these games and you talk about him being the shooter and Hart being the defensive presence. That's why his game goes so unnoticed on the defensive end. But you look at the stats, they haven't been lying for this young man. He's getting it done in all facets of the game for the Hornets.
Inbound by Dunlap. He'll go up top to Oates. Oates now guarded by Jamarcus Brown at the top of the perimeter. Whole lot of movement, but not much action. Now they'll go high screen and roll. Oates elevates. Can't convert. Hart will work quickly. Jamarcus, spin, drop step. He can't be stopped. Jamarcus Brown, 6 points and assist here in the first 3.5 minutes in the second half. (53-41). Ward over for Cooper. They go back underneath to Ward and an offensive foul. Another turnover for the Eagles.
And for Lynchburg and Brown, that's the guy we talked about in the home opener, had a bunch of the flashy plays. But his play tonight, anything but flashy, but it has been effective on both sides of the basketball.
Lynchburg on a 6-0 run over the last minute 20. They've made 8 of their last 9 field goal attempts. Brown, no good. Makovic, offensive rebound. Hart will drive in. Hart looking for help. Makovic, straightaway 3. No good. And last touched out of bounds by Lynchburg. Lynchburg with their largest lead of the night with 12 points.
How about Young? We talked about defense. He comes flying in from the free throw line on the 3 there. Dodge for the rebound. Doesn't quite corral it, tipped off his fingers, but the effort from the young man is definitely there.
Crenshaw at the top of the key. Dribble handoff, Oates. He got Brown lost underneath the screen. He's starting to heat up from deep. Brown inside, draws the foul.
Brown is a guy that once he's going downhill, it is tough to stop, huh? Even if you put a guy in his way, there's a chance he might just jump over him.
He'll jump over you, around you, through you. He's already put a couple people on a poster here in Turner so far this season.
So a stat that I checked out for him, his state championship jump in high jump over on the track and field side.
Yes,
in
sir.
high school, that would have been enough to get him all ODAC last year.
Wow.
So as a high schooler, he was jumping all conference heights.
And he's not jumping this year at Lynchburg, is he?
He is.
Oh, that's a scary thought.
For outdoor, I think Coach Spreck's done his best to recruit him. From what we're hearing, this kid can be a dual sport athlete and a nasty one at that.
It'll be a pair of free throws here for Cooper. And last foul was on Jake Hart, his second personal foul. Lynchburg's first here in the second half. And Oates has really started to come alive here in the second half as well. Now up to 11 points, 3 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 4 beyond the arc. Second free throw falls through. Cut to a 9-point game. Hart, travel.
And for the Eagles, you mentioned that Oates starting to get going, but his dancing partner, Cooper, a guy averaging over 16 a game, he hasn't quite found his rhythm yet. You saw him go 1 for 2 at the line, but after the first miss, very, very frustrated.
Well, he did get a little bit of a hot streak towards the latter part of the first half that helped him finish with 10 points in that first half, 50% from the floor. Also 3 steals. He's been amazing on the perimeter defensively for the Eagles tonight. That last turnover, Lynchburg's 8th of the evening. Step back jumper. Beauty. Up to 13 points on the evening. Hart weaving through defenders. Outside, Easton. Timeout, Hornets. Back down to a 6-point game here in Turner Gymnasium. Lynchburg out in front. And we welcome you back into Turner Gymnasium. A 54-48 lead for the Lynchburg Hornets, but the Bridgewater Eagles slowly inching their way back into this contest, refusing to go away. Currently on a 7-1 run over the last 2 minutes of action. Lynchburg in dire need of a response, still searching for the first field goal in a long while. Where else better to go than Easton? A long distance trifecta. And just like that, the Hornets snap the streak.
This guy, I don't know what it is, but Easton is so good coming out of halves, coming out of timeouts, coming out of just stop and talking points. He comes out and just knocks down big shots whenever he's called on.
Cooper's got to go under 10 on the shot clock. Acrobatic layup, no good. Makovic calls in the board. Young looking to go underneath. Now he'll reset. Opposite side, Easton entry past Makovic, who's tackled by Cooper. 4th team foul on Bridgewater here in the second half. Just 6.5 minutes into the final half of action.
It's been amazing to see how physical both of these teams have been. If there's not a 3-point shot, you can almost guarantee there's going to be some physicality at the rim.
Easton, no good. Off the front iron. Bridgewater looking to move in transition. Machado in the corner, right back up to Oates. They'll reverse the floor. Entry pass underneath Cooper, but a grab by Pearson Young prevents the backdoor slip.
That's one of those fouls that I don't think Coach Scott's going to be too mad at. The guy maybe slips by your face, starts to get a wide open cut to the rim, so you just get a foul. Don't let up the easy 2.
First personal foul on Young, second team foul on Lynchburg. Crenshaw up top for Ward. Ward, baseline, hanging, finishing. Here's Hart, screen by Brown. Right back to him.
Ooh.
Brown spinning inside, rejected. And a foul call on Brown. He clipped Oates. We'll take another look at it. What a defensive stop, and then he just tried to poke it away.
I know Coach Scott's going to be sick when he goes back and sees that possession on the tape. Makovic wide open, cutting underneath the basket that time. Just didn't see him.
(57-50) as Machado walks with it. And that stroll will be the 10th turnover tonight for Bridgewater. The Eagles continuing to harass this Lynchburg backcourt with a full court press. Gray breaks it up top. Makovic lays it up and in.
Beautiful transition set there from Lynchburg. Break the press, get to the half court. You got numbers. Give it to Mr. Efficient.
Mr. Efficient is now 3 for 5 from the floor. Up top, Oates guarded by Faust. Faust fighting through a screen. Long three-point attempt from Ward. Ricochets off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound, Bridgewater. Another chance and a three. And those second chance points can be deadly.
How about Machado down there? Comes in flying from the corner, tips the rebound out, snags it, finds the open guy for the second chance three-pointer.
That is Machado's first offensive rebound tonight, his 3rd overall. And a beautiful corner shot from Cooper. Now with 16 tonight. Offensive foul on Young. He didn't agree with it. Bridgewater just continuing to hang around and staying within striking distance. Oates has 11, Cooper with 16. They're the only two Eagles in double figures. No surprise there. Faust with a hand in Oates' face. He'll play it on the baseline. They reverse the floor for Ward. Left alone. Oh my goodness! Oh baby, what a play! Ward climbing the ladder. Young with a triple. No good. Offensive rebound, Easton. Makovic. Rebound, Cooper. Cooper looking to go. Now he'll slow it down, Machado. Right back to Cooper. You can feel the intensity start to boil as it's now just a 4-point game. Oates to the tin. Timeout, Lynchburg. A 7-0 run over the last minute and a half with 2 ferocious dunks.
We're going to talk about a spark. The play you just saw in replay there, that'll get it going. You come back down, get another slam. Same end of the court. Could be all the Eagles need to get back into this ball game. 2 points.
I'll tell you, they got me going.
It's a highlight reel play right there.
Back to back. And it feels like it really all started to unfold for Lynchburg the minute they let up that offensive rebound and Cooper got the corner 3. That's something that we've continued to harp on all night long, and I assure you that the same message is being said in the Lynchburg huddle, and the exact opposite is being told to Bridgewater. This is a game of rebounding. And right now, Bridgewater is winning that battle, and they're getting close to winning the war. Just down by 2 with under 11 minutes to go. They've cut into a deficit that Lynchburg led by as much as 12. Here's Easton, no good. Easton now 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. Set piece for Cooper. He'll take the double screen. Oates fades. Oates pump fake on Faust. Trying to bully him inside. Great contest, but a better finish.
for Bridgewater to go from 0 to 100. They're outside holding the ball, calling plays, and then bam, they're downhill in your face, knocking down a bucket in a matter of no time.
59-59, our first tie since 0-0. Pearson Young inside, draws contact, no whistle, gets it late. That will be 2 shots. Foul called on Joseph Crenshaw, the senior guard out of Culpeper.
Bridgewater coach asking for an explanation on that call down low. As you mentioned, it came in very late.
Young 2 for 2 from the line tonight, a 45% free throw shooter on this season. And I can tell you that we will not be saying that for much longer.
Absolutely
as
not.
This year goes on. It's very surprising how inefficient he's been at the free throw line. He was 2 for 5 in the first game, 0 for 1 in the second, 1 for 3 in the following as that one rolls out. And 3 of 5, 0 for 0, 1 of 2. I mean, the sample size really just isn't there yet, but 3 of 4 tonight after he misses the back end. Here's Crenshaw, top of the key. Back out Oates. He thinks about it, now drives in, step back jumper, got it! Cold-blooded!
It was just a matter of time. We talked about it at halftime. You knew he was going to get rolling. How big of an impact was he going to be? Well, we're seeing it now.
And a turnover. Bugs couldn't connect with Gray. The Eagles have their first lead of the night. Here with under 10 to play in the second half, and Lynchburg starting to look a little rattled. 1 for 6 in their last 6 field goal attempts. Bridgewater on a 14-3 run over the last 5 minutes. Now here comes a double team. Lynchburg bringing out looks like a 1-3-1. Oates, unfazed, drive, kick, triple, yes! Jordan Cooper.
As a squad, they just cannot miss right now.
Their 1-2 punch. Oates now with 18 points, Cooper with 19. We knew it was only a matter of time until those two got going. They waited until the second half tonight. Mike Gray, long triple. No good. A 5-point advantage for Bridgewater, their longest of the evening. Top of the key, beautiful feed. Here come the Eagles soaring in.
Absolutely nobody stepping into the paint to even contest that. A wide open, about as open as a look you're going to see. He goes up and finishes it with a flush.
Lynchburg extremely inefficient in their last 7 possessions. A tough shot from Young. Brought in by Oates. Cooper rejects the screen, takes Bugs to the baseline. Machado wide open in the corner. And Lynchburg can't get the rebound. Another offensive board for the Eagles. Machado will slow things down. Kicked out for Ward. He'll call for a high screen. Mike Gray defending, under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Cooper's got to go. Gives it up to Oates. With Bugs in his mouth, doesn't matter. Rebound brought in by Easton. Gray across the key. Stop, pop. Floater's good. Back down to a 5-point lead. But Hillary Scott wants to talk it over as things have slowly gotten out of hand. Lynchburg breaks the scoring drought that lasted 3 minutes. And with 7:10 to go, they trail by 5. And we welcome you back to a midweek matchup here on a Wednesday evening in Turner Gymnasium. It's the ODAC opener for both the Bridgewater Eagles and the Lynchburg Hornets. Lynchburg controlled through the first 30 minutes, but the last 5 have been all Bridgewater, currently on a 17-3 run over the last 5 minutes. They've taken their first lead of the night, and they hold on to it currently. Ward working on Faust. Right hand finish. Gets it through. Lead back out to Bridgewater's largest of the night by 7. Lynchburg runs a horn set. Faust with a handoff for Thomas, left wide alone, but he didn't like it. Callaway slips right through his fingertips. And it seems like the Hornets are bursting at the seams right now, just unraveling.
Oh, this is the first time, you mentioned it all game, that we've really seen pressure applied to them, playing from behind the first time during this ball game. See how they can respond after a couple sloppy possessions.
Lynchburg's 2 keys from Kevin tonight as we open the contest were win the battle on the glass and win the turnover battle. Currently they're losing both, and as a result they're losing the war as Jordan Cooper slices his way inside for another deuce. This game has been flipped upside down. 62-71, Lynchburg trails. Hart, 2-man game with Faust. Weak side toss, Callaway, a triple. Splash. A big time 3.
Had to have it go to one of the most efficient 3-point shooters on the squad. Callaway knocks it down.
The redshirt freshman out of Mooresville, North Carolina, cuts it back to a 6-point game. Between the legs, inside, spin back, great defense by Hart. He might have gotten a piece of that one. Hart for Thomas. Thomas draws the contact, an offensive foul. Oates drew the charge. That call hasn't gone their way all night long, but in a pivotal moment, it goes in favor of the Eagles. And now, as a result, Lynchburg will change up the personnel. Faust heads to the sideline. Henderson takes his spot. Pearson Young will take the place of Eli Thomas. Just under 5.5 minutes to go. Lynchburg trails by 6. Bridgewater basketball. Oates has made 4 of his last 5 field goal attempts. Jordan Cooper the same. That tandem up to a combined 41 points on the night. Oates guarded by Henderson. Brown on Crenshaw. He'll reverse Machado. Back up for Cooper, under 10 to go on the shot clock. Cooper, step back, finds Machado. Now he tries to make a move on Callaway, an air ball reeled in by Brown. Baseball pass to Callaway, lost his dribble momentarily, regathers, Euro step.
Great find, but way to recover the fumbled pass. Euro step under the basket, finished to where there was no chance of a rejection. Get the easy 2 for Callaway.
I don't know what his major is, but after that finish, I'd be surprised if it's not Old English. Back up top, it's Oates. He's harassed and able to earn a trip to the line. While Oates struggled initially tonight from the field, he's been extremely consistent all evening long from the free throw line. What a regroup and regather right there with the left hand. Beautiful kiss off the glass. They will now say that the foul was on the floor. No shots will be rewarded. Lynchburg just with 6 fouls. So the next foul, Bridgewater will have 1 and 1. Oates and Cooper, another 2-man game set. Machado traveled. That's his 2nd traveling violation tonight, the 11th turnover for Bridgewater.
And Lynchburg with a chance to cut it back to 1 possession here. How about it? An ODAC game, less than 5 minutes to go, separated by 4 points.
4-point game, 4 minutes left in the game. Hart guarded by Cooper. They run a set piece for Young. Good defense from Ward to prevent it. Offensive foul, Jamarcus Brown, the 13th turnover tonight from the Lynchburg Hornets. This second on Jamarcus Brown.
Both squads back-to-back turnovers there. It's something that we talked about at the top of the broadcast is going to be huge key to win this game if you can limit the turnovers.
Another empty possession for Lynchburg. Ward. Machado. Underneath Oates. Guarded by Henderson. No contest and no basket. Young with the rebound. Young looks to drive. Corner for Hart. He'll go baseline, but a travel call. Another empty possession. 14 turnovers from Lynchburg. They came in averaging 15 a game. They said that's something they need to clean up, especially as you go into conference play. And that has been their undoing here in the second half. Also worth mentioning, Jamarcus Brown, 2 possessions ago, picked up his 4th foul. Something to keep an eye on. He's been a key part in everything Lynchburg has done tonight. He has 14 points, along with a block on the defensive end.
He's really been the spark here in the second half, the only really bright spot.
Oates, travel. I'll tell you, the officiating tonight has not been like an NBA game. They have been very strict on the feet.
Absolutely. You talk about fundamental basketball. 4 travels in the last 6 possessions.
3:12 to go. The Eagles in the bonus. And Bridgewater also with 2 fouls to give, or 1 foul to give, rather. Hornets trail by 4. I mean, coming out of this timeout, you've got to have a set play in mind to cut this to a 1-score game. In a second half where really everybody but Brown has been quiet, where do you go offensively? Do you trust the freshman?
I think you either got to look for him because, you know, that's, as I mentioned, the only spark they've had. He's been doing it all, defensive and offensive, here in the second half. If you don't like that, you got to look at your shooters. You saw Jason Easton earlier, a timeout. He came out of a timeout, ran a set for him, knocked it down from well outside. Pearson Young, a guy who's shooting the ball incredible this season. This is a moment for him to step up, take control of this game, knock down a 3, make it a 1-possession game.
In the second half, Bridgewater is shooting 61% from the floor and 60% from beyond the arc. That attack has been led by the 1-2 punch of Aaron Oates and Jordan Cooper.
And those guys quiet at halftime, but you couldn't say it enough how impactful they would be in the second half in the result of this game. They have came out, been on fire since the halftime break, running sets for each other, getting each other open looks, non-selfish basketball. It's been amazing to watch. That's the reason they lead this game by 4.
At the half, Oates had 2, Cooper had 7. The leading scorer, Richardson, has 8. He still sits at 8. This second half has been all Oates and Cooper. Set piece, Callaway. Not there against Machado. Rolls back looking for Henderson. Shot clock now rolling under 10. Hart takes a high screen from Henderson. Hart looking for help. They go to Brown. Rises from 3 off the front of the rim. Young able to save it. Underneath Henderson. A foul, a block. That will be called on the floor. That was Bridgewater's foul to be given. So the shot clock will reset to 20. I mean, they certainly weren't looking for the freshman, but he got the look right there. Shot clock resets to 20. Hart will inbound underneath.
The effort for Young on that possession, chasing down the rebound in the corner, getting the look.
Henderson fouled underneath. Bridgewater bench really unhappy with it.
We're seeing Cooper looking at the ref asking, hey, why didn't the one that was on the ball call the foul?
That is the 7th team foul. It was called a shooting foul, so he'll get 2 shots regardless. First one, no good. Henderson shooting 67% from the charity stripe coming into tonight. It's his first trip to the line. Second one, no good. 2 devastating misses.
We have been at a 71-67 deadlock for the last, 3 minutes of the game?
Scoreless for the last 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Henderson gets his hand in the cookie jar, but possession stays with the Eagles. This is a big spot. If Bridgewater can come away with a basket on this possession, that makes life significantly more difficult for Lynchburg.
Especially when you see, how rough of a time Lynchburg's having trying to score the ball. The turnovers, travels, fouls, not converting on free throws, bad looks. It's been sloppy for Lynchburg, but they're still in this game. They can clean some of those things up during this timeout.
It hasn't been clean for Bridgewater either. They've been scoreless the last 4 minutes. But you mentioned it, same deal with Lynchburg, 2.5 minutes they've gone scoreless. But they have had that 5-0 run because of that drought from the Eagles. Nonetheless, Bridgewater's still winning the battle on the glass. They're still winning the turnover battle. They have passed the ball better than they have at all season long. They have 13 assists tonight. Meanwhile, Lynchburg's offense has really gone cold here in the second half, and just the lack of movement. I mean, at the break they had, I believe, 9 assists, just 4 here in the second half.
As you look at Bridgewater, we were giving all the credit, to the 2 guys who got going, and it's well deserved. We were talking about I think it was an 11-point game at the time. Lynchburg finally got back to that double-digit margin, and it was like blink of an eye. These 2 guys posterizing 3-point shots. It didn't matter. They had the lead.
Lynchburg has not led since 9 minutes and 51 seconds in the second half. That was the only time Bridgewater had led tonight, and they've led since then. Pearson Young pokes it away. Pearson Young finishes and one. I don't know.
Goaltend. That was a
goaltend. I was so lost.
I thought it was a foul as well with the motion.
He gave the count it. I don't even think that was a goaltend, but I thought the official saw something we didn't.
I think the refs are liking these whistles tonight. Giving them a workout.
Well, there's your reigning ODAC Defensive Player of the Week. Pearson Young, his 3rd steal tonight. 2-point game, 2 minutes to be played. Cooper takes the high screen. Step back hesitation. He's got Oates open. Back up top. Shot clock continues to roll. Backdoor cut. Taken away by Henderson. Here come the Hornets. Henderson driving all the way. No foul called. Last touched out of bounds by Crenshaw. These set pieces have been big tonight. We've seen moments where Lynchburg has turned it over in this scenario. We've also seen easy buckets, especially on those backdoor cuts by Henderson.
How about the defensive possessions the last 2 times out? A couple of steals. Pearson Young, chance to tie it, no good.
Pearson Young can't connect on the 15-footer. A minute and a half to go in a 2-point ball game. It was like everybody in the gym knows where the ball's going. 8 seconds. Machado trying to take it himself, no good. When I referenced everybody knew where the ball was going, I certainly was not talking about Machado. Nonetheless, Lynchburg now with another opportunity. Henderson working on Crenshaw. Henderson ties us up at 71.
And for Bridgewater, Oates and Cooper both were on the opposite side of the floor from the ball last possession. With 60 seconds left, you've got to have your 2 best players with the ball in their hands.
And Turner Gymnasium has come alive. A 9-0 scoring run over the last 5 minutes and 12 seconds. It's anyone's ball game. What a way to kick off conference play. Lynchburg, Bridgewater knotted up at 71 apiece. Lynchburg led by as many as 12. Then it was the Bridgewater Eagles that took a 9-point advantage of their own with 6:12 to go in the second half. But the Hornets have come storming back. Lynchburg on a 9-0 run over the last 5 minutes as the Eagles' offense has been dead in the water. Nonetheless, their two leading scorers have combined tonight for 41 points. And Aaron Oates and Jordan Cooper. Now with 50 seconds to go, Bridgewater in dire need of a bucket. They can play the 2-for-1 game here as well. Cooper guarded by Young. He'll take the high screen from Oates. Now driving with his left, goes back to his right. He retreats. Clock goes under 10. Crenshaw, top of the key. Now he'll do a two-man game. Oates gets away from Henderson. Blocked by the freshman Jamarcus. Shot clock violation. Lynchburg ball. They can hold for the last shot.
Big time possession by the freshman.
Another look at the defensive stand. Jamarcus Brown has been all over Aaron Oates like white on rice.
How about the moment for him? First conference game as a collegiate athlete, comes in as a freshman, getting biggest moments of his playing career. He has answered the call.
Here comes the trap from Bridgewater. They do have the possession arrow pointed their way. Young across the court. Here comes Callaway. Right hand layup is good. Bridgewater looking to move quickly. They've got numbers. Ward. Back up top, and a timeout was called. 12 seconds to go. Lynchburg retakes the lead after leading by 12. The Eagles stormed back. Took one lead tonight. They had a 9-point advantage with 6 minutes to go. And for the first time since then, Cole Callaway gives Lynchburg the lead once again. And it's all been about defensive play tonight, but how about the outlet pass and the awareness from your veteran point guard in Young? That felt like a very dangerous throw to make in that situation, trapped in the corner.
Bridgewater double teaming him in the corner, far side of the court, doing everything right. They even got a hand on the ball, poked it away. He comes through, grabs it, swerves. It's like an Aaron Rodgers dime out there.
You say that as you're wearing your Aaron Rodgers jersey tonight. But I will say this is a situation, Kevin. If you're Bridgewater, do you think about the two here? Do you go to the three? You're shooting the three very well tonight, 11 for 22. And you've got guys you know are more than capable of it. Cooper is 9 of 15 beyond, and Aaron Oates is 6 for 14 from the perimeter.
I would almost guarantee that we're getting ready to see an Oates-Cooper two-man game like we've been seeing all night long. The screens, the slips, something's going to get open, and one of them two is going to be the one to take the shot.
If you're Lynchburg, do you even think about fouling? In a one-in-one scenario,
I don't hate it.
You foul a guy like Machado?
I don't hate it. Get the ball in, foul. Even if they do tie it up, you're taking the last shot. You're not leaving it to chance on a three-pointer.
Here we go. We're going to play this one out. Cooper being harassed by Young. Step back, blocked by Young!
Defensive player of the week, baby.
But it's not over yet. 2.5 to go. Bridgewater ball. Or no. Whose ball is it? Bridgewater ball. 2.5 to go. The inbound by Burgess. Underneath for Oates. Guarded by Henderson. Oates up. No good. Lynchburg wins.
How about that? What a way to kick off ODAC play. Both schools coming out playing to the final buzzer. Lynchburg with a walk-off defensive possession. Why not?
In the ODAC opener, it comes down to the last shot. And what a defensive play by your big man, Henderson.
Man, oh man. What else could you ask for? For Bridgewater leaving the court, though, you've got to applaud the effort. Oates and Cooper came out, left it all on the court.
And while Lynchburg did not out-rebound Bridgewater, they finished under 20. They finished under 30 rebounds in the contest. They finished under 10 offensive rebounds. And Lynchburg won the turnover battle. Those two keys that we talked about all game long, that it felt like Lynchburg just couldn't wrap. They couldn't get a hold of it. And then in those last 6 minutes, it was all Lynchburg.
The defense, man, how about it? Forcing the turnovers. You saw it 3 or 4 possessions in a row.
And what a day for Jamarcus Brown on both ends of the floor. Obviously, you see the offensive accolades with 14 points. That came on 50% shooting, was also 4 for 6 from the line, but 2 pivotal blocks down the stretch.
And this is a guy, we talked about it at the top of the broadcast coming in, getting his start as a freshman in his first ever conference game, comes out. What a statement he makes here tonight in Turner.
And what a statement for the Lynchburg Hornets. They now advance to 5-2 on the year, a perfect 4-0 here in Turner Gymnasium. And the 1-0 stamp in conference play. With that, Lynchburg will now head to Ferrum, and they'll play on the road this Saturday at a school that my good pal Kevin is quite familiar with as a former Panther. Nonetheless, Lynchburg will play back at home on December 18th over Christmas break against Nazareth. With that being said, we appreciate you spending your Wednesday night with us. It was a fun one here from Turner Gymnasium. I've been Joe Brennan alongside Kevin Nestor. A big thank you to everybody in our production room running the cameras, directing, graphics, replay. We've got a great crew with us here tonight. So thank you so much. Till next time, have a good one.